All right, what's going on? You listen to King Cam Ujumbe podcast, and Ujumbe means message, and we got a different thing going today. I'm excited. I'm excited. I got to get down to the business. I'm very excited about this one. This is different. This is different, and so it's very unique. This is a very unique segment today. Let's get down to the business, and so it's called Injustice for All. Okay, this is we're taking a quick break off of our norm to address a few things, to handle a few things, and let's get to it. All right. We are dealing with ancient Kush. Yes, we are. We're still in that. We've been doing this almost all summer. And so we're continuing on, but we had to deviate. We had to move from that path. But check this out. This book here, The Wonderful Ethiopians of the Ancient Kushite Empire, get it. The link is in the description. And as an Amazon affiliate, I earn from qualifying purchases. So get you one. Get you one. If you have one for yourself, get one for a friend. All right. We all need to get in on this conversation. All right. But we have a question. We have a question by my good friend Will. He asked me a question, and you guys, I love to answer them to the best of my ability, but I gotta do my homework first. So his question was this. Okay, the question was, do you have any info on African justice systems? Yeah, yeah. The African, what was the justice system like in Africa before the imperialist, before the colonizer? What did it look like? What was it about? And what about the ancient practices in that area? Yeah, we're gonna take a spin. We're gonna take a different approach to this today. And so if you guys ever have a question, if you ever have a question, feel free to um put it in the description, put it in the comments, and I will do my best to answer them as it comes. But I love to answer your questions. And if it rings a bell, shoot, we'll record it. We'll make it happen. Let's go. All right, justice for all. That's what we're going to talk about. The African justice or judicial system. Did they have a thing? Did they have it? All right. So they had a thing called customary law. Okay, customary law formed the bedrock of pre-colonial justice systems in Africa. Each community had its own set of customs and traditions, which were passed down orally from generation to generation. Okay, these laws were not written, but were well understood and respected by all members of society. It was custom, it was customary, it was part of the culture. Okay, there was some written rules, and then there was some unwritten rules, right? And so customary law encompassed various aspects of life, like marriage, property rights, what else? Inheritance. How would the land and the items and all the things be passed down, right? Criminal behavior. Because the thing is, we only deal with the judicial system when it comes down to criminality or infractions on the law, but the law in Africa affected everything and everybody. It wasn't just to punish. It wasn't just to punish, but it was also to uplift. Okay. Now, it was characterized by its flexibility, allowing to adapt and to changing social dynamics. Elders and community leaders who were well versed in these customs played a pivotal role. So we still have our elders. We still have our leaders in our families and in our community that we look up to that have a have a feeling or of the pulse for the people. Okay, those are the reason why a lot of things are not being resolved right now in our community, not just in the in the states, but in the diasporas, because we are excluding our elders. Okay, the ones that know about the custom, know about the culture, we're excluding them from the conversation. All right. Let's go. Now, speaking of that, the role of elders and chiefs. This is the reason why it's so important, is because elders and chiefs were central figures in the administration of justice. They were seen as the custodians of wisdom and tradition. Now, we in the States, we like to amplify the old fool or the old individual that's not wise. But the reality is we have more wise and righteous elders than what the media likes to portray. And we have to bring them out and give them their respect. Right now, the elders, disputes were often brought before these leaders who would listen to both sides, consult with other elders, and make decisions aimed at restoring harmony within the community, making it right. Yes, this happened. Yes, they stole this or whatever, but how can we make this right? Yeah, that's something that's missing now in our society. You know, yeah, you apologize, but still, this person is hurt. How can we make this person whole? How can we make it better for them? Okay, the justice process is typically communal and participatory. So it was a group effort. It wasn't just one person laying down this rule or one person applying this law. It was it was all of us. Do we all agree on this? Okay. Or if we don't agree, let's talk about it. Okay. We got to be able to engage in that conversation. We got to be able to explain why we feel this way and why it is wrong. It's not wrong just because it's wrong. Why is it wrong? Or why is it right? You know? So the role of chiefs and elders, public hearings allow for transparency and the community's involvement ensured that the decisions were respected and upheld. You've seen them, and shout out to the Nollywood fam. We see a lot of the traditional Nollywood movies where they all would be in the room. All the leaders would be in that room to have this discussion. And this allowed for transparency because a lot of the issues in our society, the issues in most of our modern justice systems, it seems as if things are done behind closed doors, or is the fine print. No, what is this? What if this person stole? What did they steal, and what's going to happen? Or uh, if this person did the crime, does the punishment fit the crime? All right, because there's a lot of people in our justice system right now are got crazy charges and a lot of years on a nonviolent offense. That is not justice. All right. Let's get into it. The participatory nature helped reinforce social cohesion and a sense of collective responsibility. So yes, the elders, but see, the thing is, the misconception is that the elders were the only people to handle this. It was us. We all was in this. We all are involved in the uplift of our community and the betterment of our community. It's not just one group or one family running this whole thing. We all into it. Okay. All right. So, and I think that's how we should handle it sometimes. Okay. We got to have this conversation. We got to make sure all parties are involved to make things better. All right. What else? Now, not only that, not only the role of elders and chiefs, but there's a restorative justice and reconciliation. Yeah. Restore the person, or restore the person that was wrong. The reason why a lot of people do not go and refer to or defer to our legal system is because justice is not being done and people are not being restored. Let's be honest. There's been a couple of cases that I've heard recently where people have been battered and assaulted, and the people who were of authority did nothing. And then that person eventually got killed or hurt even more. We got to get back to restorative justice and reconciliation, right? One of the most distinctive features of pre-colonial African justice system was their emphasis on restorative justice. Okay. Unlike the punitive systems now introduced later by colonial powers, pre-colonial justice aimed to repair the harm by wrongdoing and to restore relationships. Repair and restore. That's what it is. In order to reestablish or rekindle trust in our justice system, the justice system has to repair and restore. But in Africa, before the colonial powers got there, it was already in place. And I can bet money it was in place for thousands upon thousands of years before Europe got there. Okay? Reconciliation ceremonies, compensation to victims, and public apologies were common practices. Okay? Yeah. Something had to be made right. The reason why a lot of our mothers are still crying, a lot of our fathers are still crying, and our children is because restoration hasn't been done. Okay? Now, the focus was not merely on punishing the offender, sending them to jail, and whatever, but on ensuring both the victim and the offender could reintegrate into society peacefully. Yeah, yeah. Well, now, granted, there's some people that need to be up under the jail, but everybody deserves a second chance. Okay? Everybody does. Everybody deserves to be restored. Okay? But there, I'm sure in our African traditions, there was a process of restoration. You just couldn't just walk up and say, hey, I'm restored. There were some things I'm sure that you had to do. All right? Let's get to it. This approach helped to prevent the escalation of conflicts and foster long-term community stability. You don't want ongoing issues and animosity in your community. You know, that's the reason why, that's one reason why I can't stand reality TV is because these people will be beefing or having issues for years and years, and you still sit at the dinner table with them. I don't like that. Okay. But I guess that's just me. That's just me. That's just me. But the thing is, we got to repair and restore, y'all. As a people, as a people, even if they don't, we should be ready to repair each other and to restore each other. Enough of all that back and forth. Enough of that, right? Let's go. Now, the role of spiritual beliefs. Yeah. The African tradition is not African tradition without the role of spiritual beliefs, without that thing that connects us all. Right? Spiritual beliefs and practices were deeply intertwined with the justice systems of pre-colonial Africa. All right. Many communities believe in the active presence of ancestors and spirits who played a role in maintaining social order. Even in the diaspora in the States, we would kind of say, okay, my grandmother would have did this, or my uncle would have did that. The role of spiritual beliefs it's not heavy in the States, but we're still African, we're still Black. There's some things that we still do and understand. So we would in the States, we would go to the pastor, or in the States, we would go to our elder or somebody and on that spiritual level to where that they can pray with and pray for us. We still do it. We still do it. But all these things were connected. We have the customary laws, we have the elders, and what else? We have restoration and the role of spiritual beliefs. Oaths and divination and other spiritual rituals are often used to determine the truth and administer justice. Because there's some things that we may not see and understand that other people can see and understand, right? Let's go. Now, there are some diverse systems across the continent. And I know that, this is not an exhaustive list. This is a few. Shout out to the family of Rwanda, the Gakaka courts of Rwanda. These community-based courts that focus on conflict resolution and were instrumental in addressing disputes and crimes within the Rwandan society. So in Rwanda, shout out to the Southeast African fam. Much love to you guys. they have that communal court system, and it is very common among African nations. Very common. All right. What's next? So we got Rwanda. How about this? We got the Barana of Ethiopia. They had a highly organized system with the Council of Elders. You hear it again. You hear it again. The Council of Elders as the Gada Council, which resolved disputes and maintained law and order. So it was, as you see, it is a group of elders, a group of people meeting out justice, make sure things are done properly. Okay, what else? Shout out to the fam in Ghana, the Ashanti of Ghana. Their justice system involved the use of a court presided over by a chief, where evidence was presented and decisions were made based on traditional laws and customs. We have been doing this for a long time, and I believe that the family, the African family around the diaspora, understands justice better than anybody. Why? Because we've been doing this long before Black's Laws Dictionary or before some kind of jurisprudence or whatever. And while I'm on this, I talked about this before, but the term chief, that's, to me, that's real disrespectful. This person is a king in their own right. That's wordplay given to us by the Europeans. Okay, that this person, be it no matter how large the nation is or how small it is, they are a king of their nation, and we got to give them their just due and their just respect. All right. So I just had to throw that out there. But now, my question is, what is your justice system? Where you at? Okay, put it in the comments. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and all the things. But what is your justice system? What is it like where you from? Okay, shout out to the family in Cameroon. Shout out to the Hausa. Shout out to Bambara, Libya. Shout out to the family in Germany, wherever you are. What is your justice system? Put it in the chat. Put it in the comments, right? If you're in Oak Cliff, how do if you are in Baltimore, how do you handle your justice system? What do you do before it escalates? How do you handle conflict resolution? How do you handle it? All right, let me know. Okay, now the reason why this is important, the reason why I believe it's important, because of Ubuntu. Ubuntu. I am, because we are. We got to get back to that. We got to get back to Ubuntu. We got to get back to concept. If I win, we all win. If you win, we all win. Let's get back to Ubuntu, sharing and taking care of each other. Okay. Now, the reason why injustice falls, when I thought about Maat, balance, restoration. Okay, all these things is to bring balance back into that community. Okay, to bring everything back to where it should be. Okay, not too far to the left, not too far to the right. To bring back balance, because if you don't have balance, if you don't have ma'at or whatever, you have isfet, chaos. You have confusion. That's what we have now in our society. Things are out of balance. It's too far to the left, too far to the right. We have isfet. It is out of balance. And sometimes we have to resort to slaying that dragon, or we got to resort to fasting, or we got to resort to denying our desires for the better of that community. All right. All right. So what's next? We're going to get back to chapter 6. We're going to finish that off. And for more on Ancient Kush, check out Sister Danita Smith, Yaya Sabaka, and AE Learning. There are some great, wonderful things coming up. And here's some books: Sacred Science, Pre-Colonial Black Africa. Check that book out. That's a good one by Sheket Tajok, and the Egyptian Miracle and the Message of the Sphinx. We just talked about And Justice for All. Shout out to Will. Thank you for putting me to the task. And if you have any questions, y'all, if you have any questions, feel free to put that in there, and we will get to it to the best of our ability. And you listen to King Cam Ujumbe podcast, and Ujumbe Means Message. Talk to you later.